So for this video, I'm going to do a full run through with the new 1.5 characters, which are 4-star Catalyst Yanfei and Eula, of course. These are my preferred teams. By no means are they optimal, but this is what I like to run. None of them are perfectly built either. Yanfei is only level 70 out of 80. She is running Lost Prayer, but she's mostly getting carried by her team. Venti, Zhongli, Xingqiu. Very good, but you don't need any of them. I actually would prefer running Sucrose over Venti, just because of the EM sharing and boosts Yanfei's bait damage by way more than Venti. Definitely run 4 Peace for Your Destiny as well, which I'm not really keeping track of. The main goal of this team is to obviously shield up with Zhongli, get Xingqiu's burst up, and I like to absorb Hydro in Venti's ult, so that I can just vape everything with Yanfei, and it's a ton of AoE damage. As you can see, this is really good for a 4-star Catalyst, and easily clears it in under a minute, which gives me time to just chill, get all my ults back up, which I highly recommend doing because it sets you up for the next chamber. But yeah. I'm only AR 52, so I don't have that many characters built, so I don't recommend running Bennett, especially because Bennett and Diona, for me, are both geared with 4-piece Noblesse. You never want 2 Noblesse users on the same team, but I'm just using Bennett because I have nothing else. This side was really unfortunate because most of the time, I hit both of the Whopper Flowers, but the one behind me is just kind of lock in place doing its thing, and I don't kill it, which would have saved me a lot of time, but it doesn't really make a big difference. My Eula is C1 and does have the Song of Broken Pines, but she's not fully built yet. Her talents are also 969. I'll show my builds at the end. I guess a disclaimer is this is not live, I'm just voicing over it so I can give my insight on this run. It is... oh, this is so annoying. Diana gets frozen. But yeah, I have a ton of time left, so I'm just making sure I have all my ults ready for the next chamber, because in my opinion, chamber 2 of floor 12 for this patch is by far the hardest. Chamber 3 is hard, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. So I usually run, or I guess I'll talk about that team after. This is probably my favorite team for this side. If you have Venti, Sucrose, they make this floor so much easier. I'm usually trying to absorb Hydro, like I said, but I fail every single time here, I think. So it doesn't really matter because the amount of swirl damage, the amount of AoE, I can't even count the numbers. I don't even know what's happening most of the time. Like I said, I don't really play optimally. I try to play however I feels right. So I guess sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but just do you. So basically Venti here. This time I swirled Electro, which means that Yanfei gets to overload everything, which still works. But either way, this team makes really quick work of this floor, so there's no issue here. Gives a lot of time for the second chamber, which is probably, I would say, the most difficult chamber of this entire biz. For the Eula team, I always run Eula, Fischl, Diona as the main core. I would run like Venti or Sucrose as a grouper, even Ammo Traveler, or you can run a second Electro like Beto for more damage output and Electro Resonance, or just run like Rosario for crit and battery. But of course I have Bennett because I don't have anyone else built. So this is kind of unfortunate. Usually the boars will both charge, but only one charge. If they both charge, I'd be able to take out this entire part immediately. Kind of unfortunate, would have saved a lot of time. Turn around, I think, because sometimes the Abyss Mage teleports at the last second and lives. But it didn't this time, so it's okay. We have a lot of time and we're just trying to get energy back for the second phase of this floor. If you like, this initial part of this floor or chamber is definitely the hardest. So if you can survive the Mimic rush at the beginning, you'll probably be okay. I guess it does help to have 2 healers and shield, but you don't need it. If you have Zhongli, this floor is also good, or chamber is good. I whiff a couple times here, I think. Yeah, whiff there. And whiff there. I don't use my Diona's E because I want to make sure it procs sacrificial so I can just get the extra energy particles for the next floor. Still so much time left. So we can just chill, make sure everyone's full energy, and go into the next floor full. So a lot of improvements that I could have made, and some bad luck as well, but I'm just trying to show like a full run through, uncut, no retries, and that's what I got. This is probably my worst performance on this floor. I could have done so much better. Like when I do this well, I can complete this part, this chamber half in just over a minute sometimes, but I mess up a lot. I whiff a bunch of times and my rotation isn't perfect. I think the problem is not DPSing most of the time. I spend a lot more time on the supports than I should be. But you can kind of see the general idea. You don't need Venti. Sucrose is good, but you can also manipulate their stack. Like right now they're not stacked, which is not good. You always want to make sure they're stacked. Yanfei's charge attacks, Klee, anything like that. Hu Tao's great. Ganyu will do a ton of damage. Xiangling beats their shields really easily. So there are a lot of options for these lectors. Bennett, of course, with 4-piece Thundering Fury. You don't even need 4-piece Thundering Fury, but Bennett is great on this floor. You can use the pillars like I did there to just kind of push them together, and when you can, yeah, whiff and shoot. One thing I think I realized is you don't actually want to use Venti or Xingqiu once their shields are up, because you do way more damage to the shields with just Yanfei's Pyro. So you just want to make sure you have shields up, and Zhongli ult whenever, just to petrify. But with Zhongli, you can kind of just Unga Boonga tank them to the face without moving, which is pretty nice. You can see Yanfei shreds their shields, which is perfect. I don't know if the Lectors will be back in 1.6 or not, but if you have a Pyro built, definitely use them for this. If you don't have Ganyu, I guess. So this is definitely really slow for what it could have been, and you could have done a lot better, but it is what it is. This half, yeah, don't use I highly recommend Sucrose or Venti just to group them. I've been able to finish this floor in just seconds, but I can't do it without a grouper. You could, but it's a lot harder, because I can't superconduct the other two, but you can see it, you can still hit all three even without a grouper, and of course it just chunks them down, and you have so much time. Eula can pretty much one-shot this floor with no difficulty, or this chamber, and all you do is push him off, and that's it. Everything's a work in progress because I'm only AR-52, but Eula, very good energy recharge, still working on the crit stats, definitely want more crit rate. Broken Binds, 2-piece because I'm not C2. Good Feather and very good Sands. I think the other pieces are all pretty mediocre though. 969, I plan to crown her auto attack and Q. Yanfei is pretty well built, only level 70 or 80 though, so missing out on the Ascension bonus and a lot of stats. Lost Prayer is really good. 2 good Wanderer pieces, so that's why I'm using that instead of Crimson Witch. But you don't need to. C2, 766, so her talent levels are really low, so you can definitely do a lot more damage. Fischl is only level 69 out of 70, but she gets carried real hard by the Alley Hunter. Like, she does a ton of team damage, or a ton of the damage of the team. Her Sands and Crown are insane. So I'm going to be running 4-piece Tenacity on her eventually. All my support talents are either mediocre or low level. Zhongli, still work in progress. I think I'm going to switch this weapon to Deathmatch though. 4-piece Tenacity. Some decent pieces, but the rest are very mediocre. C1, got really lucky. I got 2 of him in, I think, 1 10 pull. Or within 10 pulls apart, but 2 separate 10 pulls, which, you know. Bennett, definitely don't use Black Sword on him. That's the only sword I had on this account at the moment, so that's why I use it. 4-piece Noblesse. C0, I hope to get him C1 because that's the strongest. Very low level talents, like very low level 2E. Venti kind of gets carried by Amos, and I just slapped 4-piece Viridescent. Very bad pieces except the flower and the crown, which I think are really good. C0, you don't need anything. 6-6, very low. Diana's definitely much better built than the others, but I still need to upgrade her talents. Sack, bow, 4-piece Noblesse. She does have a level 0 plume, but the other ones are pretty well upgraded. 16, 17, C6, and only 6-6 on the upgrades. Xingqiu, work in progress as well. He's not running his ideal set. I only have, Sack Sword R3 is really nice. Noblesse, but yeah, instead of the Berserker, I definitely need to get a 5-star set of Heart of Depths. He has C6, and I need to upgrade his talents. But other than that, I think that's it. So, thanks for watching.